You good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the March 10th, 2025 meeting of the Planning Commission for Upper Darby Township. All Planning Commission members are in attendance tonight, so we have a quorum. I need a motion to approve our February minutes. A second? Second, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. We don't have any communications or bills. Any communications? Anything we're aware of, Josh?
Not yet.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the Community and Economic Development Report.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. I'm Rita LaRue, the Township's Director of Community and Economic Development. My first item for update is the rapidly approaching Urban Land Institute Technical Assistance Panel. We have sent out invitations to about 50 different stakeholders, and we are starting to get responses back. So that will be 3 sessions on Thursday, April 10th, after the panel does a tour of the downtown neighborhood, which will be led by myself along with Josh. And then on Friday, there is an afternoon presentation of the preliminary report from the panel. We did send out invitations to the chairs of all of the boards, commissions, and committees of the township. I would like to extend an invitation to all the Planning Commission members. If you would like to attend, please do let us know. We would love to have you there in one of the stakeholder groups or at the presentation, whatever you might have time for. Next month, there will be a presentation that I will be making to council to request funding that was originally allocated in the ARPA allocations for business revitalization, small business grants, and corridor improvements. So there is a presentation that will request the funds to be allocated from the capital reserve to the township so that we can get those different initiatives underway. And the third item is that we have a renovation about to start at the Long Lane parking lot. This has been in progress for quite some time, the design and planning, and we have all of the CDBG, Community Development Block Grant funds from Housing and Urban Development. So that project should get started sometime this spring. Any questions?
So for the breakout sessions on April 10th, so you said you sent, I guess, invites to 50 stakeholders.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you just have opened that up to the community, to everyone to attend who wanted to?
It was the request of the Urban Land Institute that we provide them with names and their affiliations and that they send out the invites.
So you targeted businesses or I'm not.
Stakeholders in this community. So it's a combination of people who may live near this community, people who may be developers, firms, property owners, planning, from the county, as well as some of our funders.
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion would be like something like this is a really big deal, as you've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would put it out to all community residents who would want to attend, or at least to have one session that people could just walk in. I mean, we know we've done that in the past, and you don't get that many people considering 93,000 people dense plus, but I think it's just a good thing to do, so.
Well, it's the Urban Land Institute that prescribes how it's done, but I love the suggestion, and I think once that could be part of the roadmap for getting additional feedback, and I will make that request of them.
Yeah.
How can we incorporate all community members who want to come in the future?
And they're going to forward the invite to the rest of our commission at least, right?
Yes, we
Okay,
will send it to
Okay,
all of you.
all right. And I will be in attendance.
Great,
So,
thank you.
all right. Two more. All right. Thank you, Rita.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Next on the agenda is a review of 223 South 69th Street. This is a land development plan.
Now, I know normally we have you guys introduce it first, but I know they're fasting for Ramadan, so they're trying to put something in their stomachs as we hit sunset.
Gotcha.
I'm going to do a little bit of an intro for them first,
Okay,
if that works for you guys.
sure.
Kind of go over my report, and then we'll we'll let you guys talk about any other details that you want to cover. All right. So I'm just going to kind of start by almost zooming out and talking a little bit about the area and the existing structure. So, right, starting at the top of my draft review, right, they are proposing to demolish the existing 1,068, demolish the existing one-story structure and replace it with a 3-story mixed-use building with commercial on the bottom. The bottom will be a commercial tax office, and then there will be 2 floors of apartments, 1 floor each. And I'm going to put that up on the screen right now, just so everyone has a good idea. Just need to wait for it to load. So this is what it looks like now. So we have the owner with us as well, and he can, I'm sure, answer any questions. But he is certainly interested in redeveloping this into something a little bit more attractive and I think a little bit more permanent. So this is, again, just kind of zooming out, right? This is on the 69th Street corridor. Right, if you back up, it's at the intersection. It's just south of, right, Walnut and 69th Street, nearby, right, the Cardington Recreation Area, the former, right, Sears parking lot, and let me see if there's anything else. This is in our C-3 traditional downtown business district. So like the rest of the downtown, there's a lot of existing mixed uses in this area. The project fronts onto 2 streets, which is a little bit unique. So if we zoom in, we can see that it has a frontage on South 69th Street and it has a frontage on Rockland Road. Because of that, it technically gets 2 front yards and then has 2 side yards. And they did receive a variance from the zoning hearing board to reduce the side yard. It's well served by bus routes, just in the location that it is. It's within walking distance of 69th Street. There's no significant environmental concerns. It's not located in the 100-year floodplain. There's only small areas of steep slopes, and that's mostly just where the retaining walls are, and those are existing. There are no natural heritage areas or prime agricultural land per the USDA's web soil survey, and no areas of this site are classified as areas of prime farmland. And I know that they did some soil testing as well. I don't know if Alice, if you want to speak to those results at all.
They did soils testing and infiltration testing, which was included as part of their stormwater report.
It was satisfactory too.
Yeah, nothing in particular to note regarding those reports.
And that being said, I think if you guys are ready to go, I'll pull up the plans if there's anything you wanted to talk about in more detail. This is kind of your guys' time to tell us why you're here, why you'd like to build this, and maybe go over some of the details of the plan with our commission. Please.
My name is Faraz Aftab. I'm helping with the development and the building.
Okay,
Actually, the builder on this.
okay,
He's the owner.
okay.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name, sir?
My name is Kamruzaman Buyan.
Okay,
I own the building.
gotcha, okay.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bilal Bakai. I'm the principal engineer of BAIT LLC, who did the submission for the project.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, tell us why you wanted to do this project, why you wanted to
Okay.
make this investment, and what it's
I
going to look like.
bought the building back in 2018.
Mhm.
As you can see, it's very small. I think 518 square foot as it is now. But with last couple of years, I do need some bigger place. And a building condition is very old, so I'm thinking to demolish this and make it bigger and better looking. For the tax.
Okay, so is it-
Currently, I have the tax and insurance business on.
Okay.
You're on
They're-
tax
They're
insurance.
tenants of yours, correct? Or you're the tax
Yes.
accountant? Okay. The tax accounting, right? Is that,
Yes.
okay, got it. Okay, so it's your business on the first floor and you're proposing
Yes.
a larger,
The
Retail
two
space,
residential on top.
two
So when I
residential on
build,
top.
that will help me to pay the mortgage.
okay, got it. Just a couple questions. The only variance that was needed was for a side yard setback?
I believe so.
Okay, nothing with parking or,
No, so we're in the C3.
okay,
So in the C3, unless the building's over 20,000 square feet, it doesn't require parking.
Mhm.
And that's just part of being in the downtown district, is it's expected that they're going to take other forms of transit, whether that be 69th Street or the bus system or the rail.
So the parking lot that's next to that property, that has
That's not
nothing to
theirs.
do with theirs?
No, that's not theirs.
I see.
is there more to present? I just, before I have some questions, or should I keep going?
No, I think, you guys have anything else you want to hit in detail?
Nothing specific, we can take your question.
All right,
All
let's
right,
just
so
do question answers.
I'm reading the waiver requests. The first two are inconsequential. What's the aversion to the bike racks and the shade tree?
Sure. So when we were trying to come up with the site layout, the sidewalk
Mhm.
is kind of the limiting factor on the front side, and we're literally, the building is coming up fairly close to the sidewalk.
Okay,
So we just didn't feel comfortable adding the bike racks and impeding onto the sidewalk, as it's already such a tight space
Okay.
that's there.
Can you show the picture of the front of the building again?
Like on Google?
And
Yeah.
how much of the sidewalk, or
Or maybe
how
the
much is the
aerial-
building expected?
Yes, the
expected to
building's
take?
going to be expanding as well. So I think the aerial with the footprint might help kind of give an idea.
Hold on. I gotta stop sharing and reshare. Okay. Is this what you were looking for?
Well, no, the last, the third to last page of the
Oh,
drawing,
okay.
where it's
Sorry
the
about that.
aerial image with the footprint of the proposed building,
Mhm.
that's there.
Okay, okay, I got it. Um,
So here you can see where the new building footprint will be coming up to. And on the front side, like, we just felt it was a little too close. You don't have a lot of space in front to be able to accommodate for a bike rack. And having an open sidewalk when there are bikes parked there.
The dotted line is,
The property line, the solid black line with the hatch is going to be the proposed building.
oh, no. My computer's restarting. Okay.
Your computer's restarting?
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, it should be fine.
Can we keep going?
Yeah, I think so.
I have full-size plans if you need it.
Okay, I'm.
Yeah, I have
so
plans here
what,
too. And we made comments about those two things as well. Yeah,
Okay.
as far as our opinion was, we saw that you guys had the trees, especially on 69th Street, which it only required one shade tree. So we didn't quite understand the request. Because the trees already, you show it in the landscaping plan.
Yes, so we were trying to make it happen, but just with the root system and the shade, like the size of the tree, we felt that sorry, I should step up. We felt that the tree, it actually could cause future problems. A lot of times they look nice when they're planted, and then the roots start coming up, cracks the sidewalk, building foundation and so forth. So we were requesting to see if we can go without the larger shade trees.
Okay. What's our precedent with this?
We,
We've
we,
been-
we did not recommend that.
Okay.
You know, there's, you know, not a lot of greenery on 69th Street, so we're pushing to have as, you know, as many trees as we can.
Do we have, do you have a list of recommended trees that don't rip up the sidewalk, right?
Yeah, and we could also work with the
Why
shade
don't you-
tree, and they
yeah.
can get you a tree that is compliant, but also will grow roots down versus out, right? We don't want to see the wrong tree either, and you guys have
Right.
to rip it up in a couple years, because we don't want that either. But, you know, we need to find a balance. The only other thing I would say is if we truly don't feel that it's necessary, we can recommend write a fee in lieu of as well.
Okay.
And then that would go to planting another tree elsewhere in the township.
Okay.
And then we don't have a problem with the bike rack comment, as this is a smaller site and not as many people. It's not like a full apartment building. It's only going to be 2 apartments.
Okay.
And the yard space, there are 2 yards, correct? There are 2
Um,
front yards?
There are technically 2 front yards because there's 2 streets, but the front of the building will only be on 69th Street.
Okay, and so why can't some of the footage on one of the yards be for bicycles?
I think it's all landscaped, right? If I understand correctly, I think we asked them to landscape all that area instead.
What is the bicycle requirement?
It's
The
vague.
bicycle rack requirement?
It just says bicycle parking should be provided near the doorway in the form of an inverted U or ribbon rack.
But there's no size of the bike rack based on the number of
There's no other
residents?
detail in this
Okay.
saldo.
Okay.
And it's the same for commercial or residential.
All right.
I have a couple questions. So is there any sort of, like, is there a height requirement? Because, I mean, it's going to be like on pretty much a peninsula. So they can only build so high? I mean, I'm just thinking.
So-
This is in the downtown district, so they could build.
Is your computer back up and running?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm not back on the meeting, but I'm back up.
So this is 3 stories, right? The
This
proposed-
is 3 stories. Let me pull up the regulations.
It won't stand out. Well, you can look on the street.
And where is the parking going to be? So you're gonna have tenants and then your business. So how many parking spots?
No, they're not required. He said.
There's no requirements in the downtown.
Oh, so there's no requirements?
Right, because
For the all street parking?
right, unless it's over 20,000 square feet,
Okay.
unless it's like a really big building, the expectation of a downtown is that they'll either have to use transit, use the existing parking lots, or it'll be for pedestrians. And that's the entire C3.
Okay.
And then let me look up
You
the
pull up
height
street view. Any other
requirement.
questions while we're?
The building height requirement. The building height requirement is shown in the zoning analysis table on sheet 4 of the plan set. The building height required is 85 feet max, and the proposed 35 feet
So 85 feet is what it's.
85
allowed.
feet's the max.
is the max.
30.
So they're well under that. And in fact, right, it has to be a minimum of 2 stories in this district.
Okay.
Just so you're showing, entrances on the north side. I assume is that tenants or like exit from the tax office as well?
So there is a main entrance for the tax office and then a side entrance. Not on side, like it's still on the front side, but there's a separate door that would lead to the apartment units.
But I also see doors on the north side, yeah.
So, sorry, can you?
I said I also see doors on the north side.
Sure, that would be for the trash removal.
Okay, yeah.
So we have indoor, we're gonna be housing the trash and that would be for.
That was one of our requests that we made when we initially viewed the plan is originally it was supposed to be out in an enclosure out back. We asked for them to have a interior trash room so that there would be less out, it wouldn't be outside, and then the property owner will walk it down to the curb on trash day.
Do you have any idea what kind of retail you're looking for in that space?
Sure. He's
He's,
It's gonna be tax and insurance.
Oh, that, it's just you?
It's his business, yeah.
Oh, okay. That answers
I
that
don't have any more
question.
questions. I think if, pull up the street view if you don't mind.
Yeah. Sorry, and I'm just about back end. I believe it's never stopped. I'm sure we'll hear about it if it did. But I believe it never stopped, so we should be good.
You mean the
Yeah,
filming?
if mine goes
whatever.
down, I believe the room will take over.
It's set live the whole time. Yeah.
So we should be okay. But yes, I'm back in now. And you want me to go to the Google Street View, Mike?
So let me just understand about the bicycles. So there won't be a bicycle rack at all?
There's none being proposed.
They're requesting the waiver to not put one in.
Uh-huh, okay.
All right.
And while we're waiting, lighting in the area? Lighting?
They
So we are proposing some building lighting and uplighting for the landscape. There was a comment that they wanted, the township would like to see some more calculations about making sure there's no glare that would be coming off of that. So we will look to address that as needed. But we have proposed side lighting around the building and uplighting through the landscape.
Yeah, and that's one of our standard comments is we like to see a lighting plan shown by the foot candle. So we'll see exactly where it is, and we, especially when it borders residential, which it does on the Rockland side, make sure that it ends at 0.0, so they're not getting any unnecessary glare. Less concerning on 69th Street because it's a commercial district. All right, Mike, there's a bus here, but
So Lee, that's the neighbor.
Yeah.
And
Actually, if you go down to one of the older views at the bottom,
Mhm.
we'd be able to see it without the bus.
what are we looking? Yeah, I just did that. What are we looking for?
I just want to see the new building height in comparison to the neighbors.
Yeah, so well, you're going down a hill as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're about 2 stories. They're probably a story and a half. This will
Yeah,
be 3.
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah, they're not allowed to do smaller than 2, and then the mosque is obviously 3 stories
Okay.
Mhm.
plus. And then it looks like there are some parking meters out front as well, along the entirety of 69th Street.
And where are you proposing the tree should be? Where are you proposing the trees should be?
Well, it's a little hard on that plan. Let me pull up the landscape, the colored landscaping plan. That might be a little more helpful.
So I assume that whatever business is to the right with the parking lot, so where that 2 apartments are going to be built? I mean, that's probably where people are gonna park.
It's private business,
Yeah.
so I don't think they could park there.
Yeah, we're not allowed to use their lot.
Yeah.
You're not
Okay.
allowed to use
Yeah.
it.
All right, so here's
Parking, if anything.
Okay.
here is a copy of the land or the landscaping plan in color. So there's I think what 3 trees. So, but this is the one that you're referring to, right?
So
Up in this corner right here.
yeah, so in this version, actually, it's not shown. And it was supposed to be in the island between the doorway and the, between the 2 doorways. That's where it was originally shown.
Oh, we had BA here as one of the trees. Is that not?
No, the shade tree was, forgetting the name off the top of my head, but it was the 3rd one on there. And that was on the original submission, so that's where was the confusion.
Okay. And then and just to round out the shade tree comments that we had,
Yeah.
there should also be another shade tree on Rockland Road. Or there should be two on Rockland in the right of way, or sorry, within 5 feet of the right of way. So there's one here, and then there needs to be another one a little bit closer. Which I see there's another BA here. That one if you just flip it to the outside, you should be close enough.
Do you have in the plans what the building will look like?
Yes.
Really quickly though, I think the question was asking on 69th Street side
Mhm.
where the proposed trees would be. So it would essentially be in one of those two green areas on the left side of the screen where we would need to put the trees. So again, between the
Let me zoom in a
building
little bit.
and the sidewalk is like, that's the space that we have.
Yeah, it's pretty dense already. And then these two pieces of cement, these are your entrances and exits, correct?
Correct. So those are the egresses.
So this is, I'm guessing, the egress to the
main
tax
entrance,
office. This is
tax
the
office.
egress to the apartments.
I think trees would be lovely there.
So is there a picture, Josh, of what the?
Yeah, there's some architectural drawings. Yep.
And we do need trees on 69th Street. It really does add to the community look.
Yeah, and it's only one tree per 30 feet, so that's why we recommended that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And we want you to work with the shade tree too, to find a tree that makes sense. All right, architectural. So these are the floor plans, right? There's also going to be a basement. Anything else you guys want to share about the floor plans?
Not, yeah, I don't think.
Okay.
1 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartments?
Um,
3 bedroom.
3 bedroom.
2 3-bedroom apartments. Gotcha, okay.
One per floor. So
One
like
per
the
floor.
second
All
floor
right.
is going to be its own apartment. The third
Okay.
floor is its own apartment.
I see, okay. Mhm.
And then, right, bottom floor is mechanical storage, president's office. First floor, right, that's ground level. That's going to be the main tax and insurance office. And then I think the 2 apartments are exactly the same, but that will be the second and third floor. If that makes sense.
Okay.
And then here's the elevation.
Yeah, go back, Dale, to get an idea what it's gonna look like from that? Okay. And what's the material of the building, the front? Is it brick? It's brick, okay, great, okay.
Great.
It'll be brick.
Brick veneer.
Oh, very nice.
Veneer.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look nice.
Very nice. Bravo.
Mike, did you have some comments?
I
Our resident architect.
Here we go.
So the two quick questions is there a reason there's no windows on the side? Is there a adjacency or or side lot line reasoning? Yeah, just-
That is right against the store.
yeah, I was thinking the north side, but I don't know about the south. It's the parking lot.
Yeah, south is the parking lot, yeah.
So is there any?
Because it's so close to the lot lines,
Mhm.
when future building, if somebody builds something.
Mhm. Yeah, somebody.
Oh,
puts it.
for us, make sure you come up to the mic, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so future, obviously, it's so close to the lot lines. If the neighbors get the necessary paperwork done and start building in another building, those windows will be obstructed.
Okay, yes, so you're just worried about that. And then the second would just be on your north side with the gardening and the, where you have the exit doors. But, just any thoughts, like a water table there, just to, like 3 feet of brick coming up instead of just siding all the way to the ground? Just sort of like to protect the siding, I don't, siding at ground level is just, it gets beat up.
Usually Bump the concrete up.
Or just, or bring the brick around.
Down all the way.
Yeah, just something a little bit.
Yeah, we could, obviously, we're not gonna run it down to the
Yep.
elevation, all the way down to the ground. We
Mhm.
would definitely leave some sort of like probably 18 inches or maybe 2 feet max.
Okay, perfect.
And Mike, your recommendation would be to bring the brick around?
That would be my recommendation is brick, but yes. Yeah, no,
Okay, so
obviously you're
It's
not.
it's your guys' review.
Yeah, yeah.
So recommendation, for the minutes, recommendations to wrap the brick around the back of the building?
Around the north side,
Around the north
where
side,
they have the
okay.
trash and the gardening, the
Rockland
vinyl
side.
doesn't want to get hit by like
Okay.
trash cans or hoses.
Is that only for the bottom 18 inches or so, or they?
Yeah, just whatever's reasonable to you guys.
So that's around the back and the
Just
one side?
the north side, the north side where there's planting and
The
people
north
walking,
Next to
Okay.
the store.
like the doors there, the trash doors.
Right here. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Side.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
Oop. Okay. Lee, anything else with the architecturals? Does this help?
No, I think that's all.
Should we go through any of our comments withstanding?
Sure.
So as far as, right, our review goes, right, we talked about the lighting plans, a lot of little stuff. We talked about the shade trees, Saldo comments, right? You have to add the names of the neighboring parcels, make sure you put the comprehensive plan, notes up there. We make sure you get us the deed. A lighting plan, we talked a little bit about, we gotta make sure that the foot candles aren't exceeding onto Rockland Road and onto the residential neighborhood. Just a lot of little things. We'd wanna see the commercial area and dimensions, kind of like a mini version of those floor plans. We wanna see that on the land development plans as well. Right, you're gonna have to repair any broken or damaged sidewalk. Right, I saw on the utility plan, I think the sewer and water lines are right next to each other. You either have to separate them by 10 feet or you have to use shelving. And then I think you had another comment about that utility, if you want to jump in there, and I can pull the utility plan up.
Yeah, you didn't have enough clearance in terms of the sanitary sewer line. It's only 5 inches below grade, and then it's going along the side and then to a manhole and then connecting at an odd angle to the existing manhole that's on 69th Street. Is there a reason why you didn't want to route the sanitary sewer line directly from the front of the property and then just tie into the sanitary sewer?
Sure. Could you just highlight which comment we're talking about? Sorry.
And then here's, I'm gonna zoom in to the section here that we're talking about. So right, here's the sewer connection coming in here and then going down. Right, and then connecting to the building next to the water.
And so is the request to shift the sanitary lower and so that we can tie in like straight onto the street?
It was comment number 62, and we're not telling you how to design it, but just looking into, consider maybe you can get more depth if you routed the sewer from the front of the house, of the building to the existing sanitary line that's on 69th Street, instead of having it routed from the back of the building and then along the side yard and then doing an odd angle, and the flows are going downhill. So you're bucking grade to go to that manhole.
So it looks like you were trying to do the existing, right?
We were trying to keep it to existing, and then we were also trying to stay away from the infiltration, trying to try to have anything below that is
Okay.
my understanding.
So, I guess,
But we can revisit that. to
Yeah.
understand.
yeah, because you're already putting in a manhole, right where you're, at the edge of the building there, sand manhole number 2. Maybe you can look into putting that on the existing sewer line and then just tying in directly. You have a better angle with the sewer tie-in. Oh, thank you.
I don't think it goes on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the screen
Yeah,
absorbs it.
Yeah.
yeah. Nice try, though.
Yeah, appreciate it. Um, and
We can definitely talk,
yeah,
Yeah.
to clean that up.
but I think, as far as our comments, they're all kind of nitty gritty comments. The basis of the plan, right, we're happy with. They originally came in, I think in November. We asked them to clean up the plan. They did that. They work with us. We still have a little bit to go before we get to council, but we're definitely happy with where the plan's at.
Okay.
And we are recommending approval, right, with compliance with staff comments. And then we are recommending approval for the three proposed waivers and recommending denial for the shade tree installation waiver.
Okay. So any more questions?
And then Allison, hold on, is there anything that you want to add from an engineering standpoint from your review before we move on?
I did have a question in regards to comment number 48, and that's the stormwater management access easement. In your response, you said there's already a access easement that was approved. There's no approved stormwater access on record with the township. So, are you requesting a waiver from that, or we wouldn't support the waiver because we would need an access agreement with the land development?
So we shifted the infiltration and everything onto our property so
Mhm.
that we won't need the waiver, right?
Correct.
So,
Well, you don't need you don't need the
Access.
access easement with the neighbor,
correct,
but you still need an access easement with the township.
okay. Okay. The O&M, the BMP and O&M, okay.
Yep.
Yes. So we are working on addressing that.
Okay.
All right. So
And to make sure we do any public comment too.
is there any public comment?
You guys could just step
Oh,
away from the
absolutely.
microphone for a second.
Please come forward, state your name and address.
For Steve Lockard, 427 Spruce. I don't know if the township, with its ordinance for trees, has ever thought of an exception to do something similar to trees, but shrubs, maybe 3 shrubs for 1 tree. It might be, if they could be close to the building, a tree can't be as close to the building and have as much survival rate, but that's
Yeah.
one thing you might consider. I mean, good-sized shrubs. I'm not talking about something.
Our SADO does require foundation plantings,
Yeah.
which include shrubs and trees, and you
Okay.
can use those together.
Yeah,
to
and I
meet
know that the
requirement.
the ordinance was for trees out front, but the front could also be considered rockwood?
Yeah, so they're required to plant trees, the shade trees. I believe it's 2 on Rockland and 1 on 69th Street.
All right, because there's a lot more room, I think, in the back there.
Yes.
And the stormwater management, what would be done for water being shed from the property?
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want their engineer?
I can, talk and you can add to it if you want. It's basically, they're proposing infiltration trench and a rain garden. So the
Okay.
infiltration trench would be along the front, 69th Street, and the rain garden in the rear, or the rear of the building, but it'll be fronting Rockland Road.
Okay, well, the tree or the shrubs, whichever, could actually be fed by that infiltration trench if it was done the right way. The idea of having a tree
Mhm.
there is, could be beneficial in several ways. One, to absorb the water.
Right, they are, that is landscaping on top, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anyone else?
Any other discussion from the board,
More
I guess at this
questions,
time?
discussion?
No, we're done. I'm done.
Okay. So I'll ask for a motion to recommend approval contingent upon addressing the commission's recommendation to wrap the brick around the north side of the building and also address the township's shade tree comments. Does that make sense?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed to the motion carries. So you have our recommendation for approval, so good luck with your project.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else tonight? Any old business need to go over? Any new business? Sure, yep.
Are we had spoken about meeting with the.
Oh, right.
zoning
Yes,
administrator.
yeah.
Where does that stand?
Yeah.
So yep, we will be meeting with them in a joint training session.
Okay.
We'll probably or likely have to wait until after the solicitor change.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
all
we want to make sure that it's okay with the new solicitor as well.
Okay,
And our zoning hearing board solicitor, well, we'll see what happens. But we'll we'll have to wait until after that. But it will happen as a joint training session.
okay. How long you thinking?
We're hoping to have the new solicitor by the April meeting,
Okay.
so probably May.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think our intent is just to have a casual,
Yeah.
conversation with them.
Yeah. Well, we would like to take this opportunity to just do, a general training with everyone and make sure
Okay.
everyone's on the same page.
All right, got it. All right, anything else? Not need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.